Texan, come in.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't catch what you had at the junction.
Someone's job. Sure, 5.
Copy. Can I come and join you?
Yeah, sure, welcome.
Thank you so much. Texan's just found some elephants, so I think...
What does he have?
Elephant! Texan found us some, so we're going to go and see if we can go and catch up with them. Apparently Rebecca's Zoe's Road Junction. So we'll scrap the Twin Dams idea, because that's why I was going to go down there. See if they were around. So let's go and see if we can spend a bit of time with the elephant. I was in the middle of saying something, I can't remember what it was. I just hate it when that happens.
Yeah, what can you stand from the left?
And for those of you wanting to read the Rhino's prayer that Ari was talking about, they did send it through to me, so I have put it onto the blog now. It's just at the end of the blog, so for anybody who wants to read it, it is there. Beautiful little prayer. Very well written. Very sad, very heart-wrenching. Now I'm completely confused, but never mind. Keep a lookout for pachyderms. Actually, I shouldn't have said the name, should I? Oh well. Never mind. I hope you're all with us this afternoon. Apparently there is quite a bad lag. I don't know if it's going to improve or not, but I'll keep my fingers crossed. Oh, nice. Got the weeping wattle coming into flower. Oh, hello. Oh, you're on the flower.
Oh, you want me to show the flower?
Yeah, if you can,
Alright.
that'd be nice. Beautiful little stalks of the flowers just starting to come through with the big beautiful yellow flowers. There we go. The weeping wattle. Looks a little bit like an acacia, but it lacks the thorns. And the leaves are actually quite soft. And if you're really caught short in the bush, kind of is joked about that you can use it as toilet paper, although there is actually better trees out there for toilet paper. But if you really caught, then it is possible to use it. 1-star toilet paper. There is 5-star. Velvet bush willow. Sadly, I haven't seen any around here. That's like 5-ply. But yeah, very soft. And if I take one leaf, actually, this is what's called the bipinnately compound leaf. So all of this is actually one leaf. All of this here is one leaf, and it's attached to the branch just here. So wherever you get this little nodule on a leaf, that will actually indicate where the leaf starts from. It's quite handy. And you get some that are simple, and you just literally just have the one shape, and there'll be nothing cut out of it. You get maybe 3 parts, so you may get sort of like that. You may get leaves that may have these little shafts coming off, but then they'll just have one complete part to the leaf, or the leaflet as it's called. And then you get this bipinnately compound where it splits twice. So you've got the splits here, and then you've got the splits here. And one of the advantages to having this is it actually helps to reduce water loss. And in extreme heat, you'll find, and you can actually see some of these leaves have already started to close. And they probably have closed and they're just starting to open again actually. But during the hottest part of the day, they can actually close these leaflets. So they close in on themselves, and that helps to trap moisture. Now the reason why I've picked 3 is because an old traditional belief from the Sepedi people, which the Sepedi people are actually the tribe that I used to work with up in the Waterberg. The Sepedi people are quite a passive people. They're not a war warrior type of people like the Zulus or the Xhosas. They're quite passive, but they are very well known for poisoning. So they won't make a song and dance about it. They'll just give you a poison if they need to get rid of you. And because of that, they're actually one of the few people that would not allow children over the royal part of the village. It's extremely interesting how they would live in the past. As I say, it was all because they were worried that it would be found out that the king went to go and sleep with a certain wife, and the child would actually tell, "Oh, well, Daddy came to sleep with Mummy last night," to the other children, and there was fear that the wife would then, or the other jealous wife might slip him something. But very, very interesting. If ever you do come to South Africa, then definitely go to a Sepedi village and have a talk and be shown around a village. But one of the beliefs is taking 3 leaves from the weeping wattle and tying them up like this, and that is supposed to be good luck. So you take that wherever you go. People will carry it in the pocket or put it in the car, and that is to bring you good luck, especially when you go on a journey. So we're on a journey today, we're on safari, so let's see if it does bring us good luck. Yeah, but what's quite interesting is I was talking about this to Patrick once on Drive, and Patrick is Shangaan, which is the culture in this area. And Patrick said that he's never heard of this particular luck charm in a weeping wattle. But what he does know of is actually taking a small branch from the weeping wattle, and that's the Shangaan tradition. So it's still the part of the tree, but it's just a different part of the tree that is believed to bring good luck. But with the Sepedi people, the Bushman's poison bulb, which is a highly toxic plant, is the centre of the village, and they'll actually clear away the area when they do find a Bushman's poison bulb, and they'll actually build the village, or they would have built the village around the Bushman's poison bulb, and that would have been the church within the village, and then the huts around the big church. As I say, you could have many wives. And this Bushman's poison bulb is an unknown, very little known toxin. And it has been used in quite a number of murders. And it's not traceable. I see an elephant. It's not really traceable because people don't really know what they're looking for. Addy! Oh, we're not lagging. Oh, okay. So it's sorted out. Hello, elephants. Oh, from you. Oh well. Apparently we're not lagging anymore. Oh, nice. I'm just trying to see where we are. See if they come to us. Good afternoon. That station's in the lock of the Induna on Rebecca's Road. Oh, beautiful. Good afternoon, lady. It was African buffalo. Thank you very much, Addy. Hello, lady. Oh, Addy said Cape Buffalo. Ooh, they found a nice acacia to go and feed from. It's been such a while since we've seen elephants. Now we're surrounded by them. It's perfect. I wonder if this is the herd where the little boy was trying to catch up with them last night. Might have been, but I don't think so.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Hello. What are you doing, little boy? See a temporal lobe weeping. Could mean that she's in estrus. You do tend to get a peak in matings during the rainy season. There's not really a strict breeding season as such. Could mean that she's stressed, but I haven't seen any more of ladies here. If one's stressing, you may get a few. It could be that there's been a predator around. Let me just see if I can roll back. Yeah, there's a little one behind us. Sorry, little one. Let's see. Pull forward there. Can you see him from there? It's a bit of an awkward angle, but hiding behind the bush now. It was all brave. Okay. Wait for me, Ma. These are the two. We saw a couple the other day just after drive. A couple of young bulls, and I wonder if it's these two. Tusk length's about the same. And they look about the same size. See if we can catch up with Mum again. Thanks, Ephraim.
Any station in the north, copy me?
Good afternoon, Ryan. How are you?
Afternoon, Dara.
Good, thank you. If you're looking for some in Love, we've got some on Rebecca's Road heading east at the moment.
Also een update. Tristan has in Wola and concludes coming Yari on Philemon's Kaplan. Philemon's looking for one of you guys. You run a handheld. You'll wait for one of you to get there.
Okay, copy. Thank you very much.
Are the other guys driving as well?
Affirmative. Texan and Ephraim, I've heard so far.
Right. Afternoon, Paul. Yeah, afternoon, Paul. Where exactly in Wola? Oh, he's on Philemon's Kaplan. Philemon's got somewhere there. Tristan's got it. He just called me on the Eastern channel. He's on a handheld, so it was very difficult to copy him, but Apparently Makulu Slami Nyari and Madonna Ingwe. These things from Vula, they're Philemon Kaplan.
Yeah, I'll try to go there first.
Okay. I'll give you a shot in a little bit, see what's happening. I'll try to get hold of Tristan again as well. Thanks very much, Ryan. Copy that. I'm on 10 dumb. I'll go there. So 6 near and 1 in combat, 10 dumb.
It's quite interesting.
Take the side, Yari, and then combi is put down.
Apparently there's a male leopard towards Philemon's cook line, as well as a big herd of buffalo. So he's going to go to Philemon's cook line the other side by the looks of it. So I'm just thinking, because this is going to get quite thick bush, I'm just going to see if there's any more elephants crossing over, 'cause there's a few that have moved that side, because we haven't seen elephants for a while. But it'll also be quite interesting to see what's going on with the leopards. As well. Now they seem to think it might be in Vula, but that would be quite odd, because Mvula doesn't usually come up this far. He's usually more in the east, and if he is this far, that means that there is something funny going on. It could mean that he's really pushing Yambili Ordan and trying to take over his territory. So it could be quite interesting. See him through there. There's a nice gap there. Ooh, I hear something moving to our right. I think this one might be better for us to have a look at. Another one coming, possibly her calf actually. Another one behind. And I don't know if we're able to zoom in on the ear at some stage, because somebody was asking, I think it was Carolyn, was asking about the ear, where the entrance to the ear was. And it's actually on the front side of the ear rather than behind it, and you possibly can just see it there. It's actually a little slit, a little opening there. So if you look just where the ear is actually moving, you can see that opening there. So that's where the ear canal actually starts. So Carolyn, if you're watching, there you go. I'm sure they're loving the rain and all the fresh vegetation that it's bringing. Because over the winter periods they've had to really make do with roots and dry vegetation, and this is going to be quite a banquet. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any more.
You go here, Gary, next to the sign for Little Gar.
Gary, Maine.
Okay, copy, confirm, one Ingwe. One Ingwe, south, going south. Okay, copy, I've got that. The little sign applies to the whole Wi-Fi, And now, where is the Ingwe? I'll try and get someone on the eastern channel.
Text incoming. Text, and they were saying Gary, Maine, Little Gary Junction. I just heard they were saying it was going north. Oh, it's Induna. Sorry, confirm, where have you got Induna? Is it on Philemon's Cup line?
Just pump house, yeah.
Oh, the pump house. Copy that, thank you. I'm going to slowly make my way there if that's okay.
Samuel, yeah, coming in the Madura, I don't know. Copy, confirm it's heading north. Now, going north, you see there by the pool, for the hectare, waiting for Garden, going west, for the pool, next to the pool, going to the up. Okay, copy. Yeah, tell me, I will keep my name up and try and look at it at 11 times.
What I would like to do is try and catch up, if we actually drive around, and catch up with them on the other side. Because as I say, where they're moving, it's quite thick in there anyway. But apparently they found it's actually in Induna, not in Mvula. I was going to say, it is a bit odd if it is in Mvula. Hi Nancy, good afternoon to you. Apparently there's a program called Where in the World is Max, and apparently went to Namibia, and there's still people building the huts in the traditional way with dung. They actually build the huts with dung. And how long will it take before the smell of the dung disintegrates? And isn't it a bit icky? Or have you got it all wrong? No, it's not. It actually is one of the not the tools, materials that's very pliable. Okay, he was round here by the hut. He said he was going south, I think, towards the Mbisi. Stations Lefty and Lovelock slowly fambering north from Rebecca's Road towards the drainage line. Oh, Impala. Oh dear, Induna doesn't sound like it's been successful. And he's quite... He's been spotted. Well, he's been spotted all his life, but he's been spotted now by the Impala. So yes, it doesn't take that long for the smell to disintegrate actually. We've got the buffalo dung or elephant dung. It loses its scent very, very quickly, and it's usually cattle dung that they use. Saperi people also would build their huts from dung and mud. Still mobile south.
Okay, copy. Yeah, there was apparently another Ingrid that suddenly spotted on Gary Main, North Gary side, but heading north.
Airframe come in. Have you still got visual of him? Oh. Okay, copy. So confirm Weaver's Nest South rather than the MBC Kaya now. Okay. I was hoping there'd be a fairly good view from this side. He's saying Weaver's Nest is better. Sorry, Ephraim, confirm, is he on the road? Okay, copy. He's in the bush.
It's in the house and Weaver's Nest in the block. It's heading south.
Okay, copy. Yeah, I think I've got visual of your mover. Or do I? Might be easier for us to go around Weaver's Nest. I thought the vehicle was just here. So, while we're trying to get around there, so we must have just missed him. Apparently he was just by the pump house, so we came up Rebecca's Road. Oh. I think you might have to drop it. I'm just going to get onto this section here. There we go. Okay. Standing by.
Yeah, you're looking at?
I was going to say, I thought I saw you from Nimbisi Kaya, but Lutu, so I'm just coming back round towards Weaver's Nest to try and catch up with you guys.
It's better to go Weaver's Nest again towards the roads can take you towards the ground then.
Yeah, copy that. I'm going to be on Weaver's Nest shortly.
Okay, copy.
You're off in charge of the Zingala, they static in the same spot. That's becoming the starting of Induna.
I'm going to be actually heading south.
Okay, let's try this one again. Sounds like he is motoring. He's heading down towards Treehouse Dam. Was there any questions on the way there as we go there, Mark? Any elephant questions? Hi, Mike. Good to hear from you, and happy birthday to your wife, Karen. Both watching in Chicago. And just wanting to know, is the herd part of the herd? Was that a Dacre? Dacre ran across the road. Part of the herd with the baby elephant that we saw the other day. I don't know, I don't think so, but we didn't see all of the members of the herd. And I remember that was quite a big herd that she was with. Sure, if they've gone this far already, he really was motoring. So maybe we would have caught up with him in the thick bush here. And mortality rate in elephants, you know, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's been any studies done on it. Ah, there he is. Aha. Well, that's where they are anyway. Okay. So we can go in here. And they're all parked that side. Air front come in.
Okay, just keep coming.
Yeah, elephant mortality rate, it would be quite high. I suppose it will depend on which area they're in, depending on predators like leopards have learnt to kill baby elephants, like in Botswana. I think the lions. I think the elephant mortality would probably be a lot higher in a place like Botswana, where they do hunt the elephants more than they do here. Okay, I'm following you guys. You know what? I am thinking maybe we should just go around towards Treehouse Dam. I think let's do that because I think we're way back at the moment. I'm just hoping that it's going to keep going. Has he stopped now? No, stopped. Okay, let's try it.
Did you guys get it?
No, thanks very much. He's putting other stuff now. He's approaching 3 hours down.
Nah, copy. Apparently there's another ingress.
Oh no, he's still saying it's going.
The Gary Main, Little Gary, Darboy Junction, on your side, just north of the umbrella. Umbrella Pine to Zulu Zulu.
Okay, copy that. Now we'll make a look at that. Yeah, just right at the...
Well, it sounds like I come onto the tunnel and talk to him, but he's not there. The guys are done it to do that. So I'm not going to touch them. Yeah, like I said, I think it's fully at 4 we're not going to be on like the first and better.
Yeah, coming down Gary Cutler.
We're good. Let's try this approach. A text and go?
You got everything on your head?
Negative. I was going to try and come in from the road leading towards Treehouse Down because it was getting quite thick there. I think I've got your visual there. Okay, copy. Do I need to come to where you are, or is that Ephraim coming out? So he's in there. Okay, I think he's in this marula tree up ahead. Awesome. Hey, beautiful boy. Sure, he's really coming into his own now. You see him doing there is a phlegm and grimace, pulling back his lips to reveal the receptor cells, and he'll be able to distinguish whose urine has been left there and whether or not, if it's female, if they're in estrus or not. He'll be able to tell if it's his father or whether it's another male that's been in the area. If it's the cubs, if they've been urinating. There he goes. I'll see him from there now. I just want to see where he's going to go. Yeah, he's walking straight down here. Okay, let's try to squeeze back through this gate. I just want to try and get into that open patch though. Through here. There we go. And that he is getting a huge neck now. Wow. He really is coming of age. This is Induna, and he is Karula's son. And he is actually turning 3 this month. So you never know, Karen. He could be sharing his birthday with you. We're not entirely sure of the exact date of when this stunning young male was born. I'm going to try and get onto the road before he gets onto the road.
Induna. It's stamp. I can run myself on telephone. What's he doing now? He's just pushing the middle that goes up to 2 of them from the left side of the gun.
He's crossing.
Yeah, he's probably walking.
If you remember, this is actually where we had the 4 leopards not so long ago, Induna being one of them. I just want to see which path he takes, because I think we're going to... Where are you going, Induna? See if we can pick him up. Just want to make doubly sure. I'm just going to poke a nose in here and just see where he's gone to in this drainage line here. Yeah, there he is. He's looking at something across the way there. Can you see him from here?
Not really, no.
I got a visual, thank you.
Reverse a bit down.
Yeah. A negative, he's standing, he's moving.
I will be moving out and Neil will be joining you now.
Copy that. Thanks, Texan. You don't know which Ingwe is on the Shadulu, do you? Okay, copy. So it's not a Madoda. Oh, yes. Sitting down there. You're gonna have to say when you can see him, because I think the visual's gonna get worse. There. Okay. So, it sounds like the leopard on Gary Main, close to Little Gary, has moved, and it sounds like it's Karula, but someone said there was a male there. I could be wrong. Let's see if I can keep up to date. Standing by?
Yeah, I'm coming in from the
It's no Matata. You'll see my mover. He's Lalapan's now in the drainage line. But he is just looking really good. I mean, look at his fur. He's looking in such good condition. And the fact that he's still here in his mother's territory, I mean, still blows me away. He wasn't too enamoured with his siblings the other day. He was being quite standoffish with them, to say the least. I mean, to actually have him with his siblings without his mother really around. She possibly had a visual of what was going on, but she certainly was quite far back. I would say the curves were quite... almost... If you can imagine a young sibling sort of almost being in awe of the elder brother. I mean, it was almost like that with Shivambalana. He was, even though his brother was telling him to back off and he was being just as tetchy with him, he kept following him, and he was just completely besotted with him. He kept following him, and Induna kept turning around and you know, sort of showing his teeth and snarling a little bit, and Shivambalana would sort of wait a little bit longer and then he would follow him again. Shavinzi was just curious about what was going on. And all the time Induna was actually following his father, Yambili. And I wonder if it was Yambili that we heard, and Induna heard him calling and responded, or whether maybe even Karula called, or even Induna, who knows. That somebody called that day. I've got your visual. If you wanna, you might get visual from that side, if you come to where my mover is, but I think it's possibly better from where I am. We would have a tree in the way. Which tree is it? Is this one? It's just in front of us, isn't it? Okay, maybe if I pull forward, because I've got a fairly clear view here now actually. I'll just move forward slightly. So I don't know, we might get the branches in the way. Better through there? Not really. So you think better back? There. There. How you doing? I don't know if you want to maybe come in this side and I can maybe pull forward a little bit, because he's just directly in line with me now. Yeah, he's lying down, but you can see him. As I say, it might be better from this side, coming in this side. Yeah. Because I think you should be able to see. Oh yeah, maybe, yeah, if you can. I don't know if there's a dip there. Yeah. And so I think if you came in this side, you might be able to get a view through there. Yeah. Because he's actually facing this way. Standing by.
Good afternoon, guys. You sure that visual in Induna?
Affirmative, his Lalapan's in the drainage line just east of Treehouse Dam at the moment.
I can confirm there's a good visual that
Just as I said that, he's just got up now. There is a good visual. Slowly mobile south now.
On the other side now.
Yeah, can you see him? Yeah. He's looking big now, hey? Yeah, the 3-year-old Induna. Okay, I'm gonna see if we can maybe head around the other side to catch up with him, because he does look like he's interested in something. Okay. Sure. See how we go. Texan is now on the move again, just foundering south. That was a bit further along, wasn't it? Same place we had before, exactly where he's standing now. I think... Where? Oh, this side? Oh, he's moved a lot already. Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Jack, I have my hands full. I've got visual still. Yeah, it looks like he's lying down again. I'm just going to point my nose in here, actually. just see what he does. If he does do anything. Can you see him from there? Back a little bit. Is that better? Oh, there. Oh, okay. Got that tree in the way. And go even framed for you.
Isn't that the tree where Carola had a kill?
Where?
This one there, no?
No, no, it was that side. Yeah. If you want to know how to identify Induna, there's the ring of spots above his right eye. And he actually shares that with Yambili. But his father does have a much larger neck than what Induna has. A Jarg, come in. A Jarg, I don't know if you copied me earlier, I do still have a visual of Induna. He's Lalapans now on the southern side of the drainage line, and I did see some Inyari down by the pump house at Philemon's Dip.
Alright, excellent. Yeah, I'm on going cut line now. I'm slowly going to make my way to see if I can find those Inyari first, and then are you going to be looking to them for a while?
I'm not sure, but there's another mover here.
Okay, copy, yeah. I'll see you guys just now.
His eyes are actually looking paler than normal as well.
Okay, copy. That's alright. I'll maybe try tomorrow morning down here again. Thank you.
Yeah, this side. I don't know if you want to go a bit closer because we've just got the zoom on the camera, but if you... Oh, it's definitely wonderful to see him anyway. But I am thinking, now he's lying down, there is another vehicle that wants to come in, and I think they are going to struggle to see him. And I would like to try and catch up with those elephants again. I'm hoping they might have come out of the thick vegetation. As I say, we haven't seen them. We haven't really seen them very often. This is always the difficulty. When there's things going on, you do want to stay with leopards, especially when they're sleeping, because you never know when they're going to become awake again. I mean, you know, he sort of had a bit of a rest in the drainage line, and then all of a sudden he got up and then, you know, moved on a little bit. Maybe he heard something. He certainly seems to be on the lookout for food. Doesn't seem to have eaten recently. It could be that he's sleeping now for the next hour or so. So I think let's go and see if we can relocate those elephants. Sorry, I didn't copy. Oh, question on leopard, okay. Hi Jack in Long Island, good to hear from you. That ex-dogman. But wondering if Mishu and Induna, if they come across each other, do they keep their distance or do they interact at all? And it has been a while since we've seen Mishu and Induna interact. It's been a while since we've seen Mishu. He came through about a week and a half ago and he interacted with his father by all accounts. He went to the same kill as his father. But from what we understand, we don't think he interacted with his brother Induna. Oh, and there you can see now on his left eye the bat wings. You can see that quite nicely, that little orange triangle. And again, you can see head up, looking around. But it would be quite interesting to see how they react towards each other, Jack. Especially as they're coming of age, they are maturing, they are going to be in direct conflict with each other for territory. I mean, one of the biggest things that's being talked about at the moment is, you know, the exploded pride theory. I mean, are leopards going to start forming coalitions at some stage? And tigers in Rathenbone, another solitary cat, has actually started hunting together to hunt buffalo. And here in the Sabi Sands there's a high density of leopards. And I wonder if, you know, at some stage we might see coalitions of leopards. It's not the norm. It might not even happen. But as I say, whenever we have seen the boys together, I think it was the very last time we saw them together was on the open area. Mark saw them and they were walking together. They were keeping a distance of what looked to be about 1.5 meters, 2 meters. But they weren't really snarling at each other. There was no animosity between the two, but there wasn't any affection either. You know, they didn't come up and greet each other. So yeah, who knows? There could be any possibility. It could be that they do recognise each other. Well, they will recognise each other, there's no doubt about that, but they might recognise the fact that they are brothers and there's no need to be in competition because they share the same genes. It could be that they actually do start fighting each other. But this is a strange family, and I don't know, I'd say possibly it would be the former rather than the latter, but I'd say it's anybody's guess. Okay, well, let's leave him to it. As much as I do enjoy sitting with, sorry, is there, oh okay, well, let's sit with him while we've got a couple of leopard questions and then we'll move on then. As I say, I would like to try and find the elephants again. Hi, Lynn. Wow, quite a lot of information there, but good afternoon to you, Lynn, and just wanting to know, is it possible that Karula could come into estrus while she still has the cubs in her care? And I don't know if this is coming on the back of Tandy, or as we know her, Saseka, mating with Mvula not so long ago, and she also has cubs a similar age as the two cubs. And as I say, the question was raised, you know, could it be Karula? Could it be that she comes into estrus so soon? And I still don't think so, because the cubs are still very much heavily dependent on her. They don't seem to have been able to catch anything too big for themselves. It could be that they have and we just don't know about it, but it is difficult to say really if they have or not. But they do seem to be very independent on her, and because of that I think, you know, her body will be responding to that. It seems that as soon as the cubs become independent and she's no longer calling for them and she's no longer providing food for them, that's when her body goes into goes back into estrus basically. But never say never. I mean, the leopards here in the Sabi Sands are strange. There's something wonderful about their behaviour here that you just don't see elsewhere, or that we don't know of elsewhere. But I would have thought not, Lynn. I think Saseka possibly was mating with Mvula, and apparently they can come into false estrus. It has been seen in other parts of South Africa where they do come into false estrus to try and reduce the cub mortality basically, just to reiterate with the males that those cubs are probably theirs. And I think that would be more likely. I keep hearing a squeak and I can't work out where it's coming from or who it is. Okay, well, I'll take the last leopard question then as we're driving around and seeing if we can relocate those elephants. All stations leaving the lock of Waningwe, Lalapan, southern side of drainage line, east of Treehouse Dam. One station in the lock. How's it? Did you see Karula?
Bonjour.
Okay, okay. Hello. Okay, so Karula has gone south. Just wanted to check. Oh, came out of that. go. Hi PM, over there in Georgia. Good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. Wondering what age Induna is going to start seeking a mate. That is anybody's guess. He is mature enough, or he should be mature enough. It could be that he's still developing. I think the fact that he's still in his mother's territory is possibly meaning that he is developing a little bit slower than maybe his brother. But usually leopards can start to mate anywhere around 2.5 onwards. But just like humans, any animal can differ slightly, whether it's, you know, a few weeks or whether it's a few months. I mean, I would say Karula is the prime example. Karula and her daughters. Karula mated and conceived when she was roughly around 2.5 years old. Her daughters only conceived when they're about 4, so a big age gap there. And I think a lot of it will depend on whether or not he can start to hold territory. But he may be one of those males that doesn't actually hold on to a territory. It could be that he becomes a nomadic male and he actually listens out for females calling when they're in estrus. Hello, how you doing? Good afternoon. Good, good.
I'll get his visual from the road.
Oh yeah, there's another vehicle there. Yeah, just go to the southern side.
All right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
all right,
Enjoy.
no worries. So yeah, he could become one of those nomadic males that just doesn't hold on to a territory. He just territory hops, keeps out of the way of the dominant males, and, you know, listens out to the females if they call, and he responds to that call before the territorial males pick up on the fact that she's in estrus and she's ready to mate. And he could possibly mate. I mean, there is the chance that he could do that. There is every chance he could do that. So it would have been nice to have seen Karula, but apparently when she was, I think she was just on Gary Main, Little Gary Cut Line, there was a lot of vehicles. Because she's on that main road, everybody can view whatever's on that main road. So I think there was a number of vehicles there, and now she's heading south, according to Ephraim. But it's funny because somebody did say that she was further south than what somebody else had said, so it was a bit of confusion there. But we have seen Karula on a couple of occasions, and when it's such a busy sighting like that, it's nicer just to spend some time with a leopard with not too many vehicles. But let's go and see if we can find those elephants again. I'm going to try the western side of Quarantine because it looked like they were heading towards that drainage line.
Okay, copy. Okay, I'm just going to try and figure out where I can get this.
Oh, good afternoon, Alicia. Good to hear from you and good to have you on board. Alicia from Minnesota. Beautiful name. I love that name. We used to have a tigress called Alicia. And she was stunning. Stunning cat. And quite an interesting question from you, Alicia. Wondering if Induna will push his father out of the territory. And if he does, where will his father go? And that's quite a difficult question to answer. If Induna is able to push his father out, I'm not sure, because his father is quite large and he's quite strong. I would wager probably stronger than his son Induna, who is 3 years old. Yambili Odan, his father, is 9 years old, so he's not old, but he's about middle age. But maybe in a couple of years it could be possible for Induna to overthrow his father. It could be that Induna gets lucky and he pushes his father out. It might be that Induna doesn't try that at all. It could be that he either leaves or, as I say, he just stays and just you know, avoids his father. If they do start to become aggressive towards each other, which they haven't at the moment, his father does tolerate him. But if it does happen that he gets pushed out, he might try and take over a territory from another leopard. If he's stronger than another leopard, it could be possible that he could do that. Otherwise, he might be pushed out and he might be forced to become nomadic and move around. Actually, let's try the north and drive down the north. So yeah, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Ooh, I'm feeling a little bit of a chill now. The sun is starting to set. I can smell a fire. Someone's braaiing tonight. Still no baby impala. Not good, especially for the camera. Hi Misty, good afternoon to you. And welcome on board to you. Hello Impala. Misty wanting to know about Induna's eyes, and I said that they're quite pale. Could that be because he's not feeling too good today? No, I don't think so, Misty. I don't think he's feeling... He doesn't look like he's feeling ill. Looks fine in himself. I was actually thinking he looks very well, actually. But leopards usually have yellow eyes, and it just struck me today. They just looked very pale. I'm wondering if his eyes are going to pale to a blue colour, but I've not really heard of that happening. I think if they are blue and they when they cubs, they start off blue, very, very bright blue, crystal blue. And they're usually that colour blue for a couple of weeks, and then they start to pale, and then they start to turn yellow, probably after, I think it was about 2 to 4 months, I read somewhere, that they start to turn yellow. But occasionally they don't turn yellow, and Vula's got piercing blue eyes. Whitecloth also had pale blue eyes, so they can keep the blue eyes, but it's quite rare that it happens. As I say, Induna just looked, his eyes did look pale today. So I didn't get a brilliant view, it just struck me. It might just be the way the light fell on them today. Have a look. But Mvula's not his father, Yambili is. What you looking at, Impala? What you spying? They've all stopped and looked. What is going on? Oh, there comes a ram. That's what's going on. A ram just popped out the bush. Oh no! A female. Ooh! Female popped out the bush. I wonder if she's just given birth. Because they will hide their young. She's on her own. Although she's still Still looks pregnant to me though. But then again, I suppose if she's just given birth, she will. But they can hide their young for a day or two. No one's really too sure exactly how long. It doesn't look like she's wet. And the reason for that is so that they can actually imprint on their lamb. So that lamb can get to know mum and mum can get to know lamb. And they will recognise each other in a huge herd of impala. I mean, you can get herds up to about 100 sometimes. And mum, if she bleats, baby will recognise instantly, and vice versa. She'll be able to hear her baby bleating, and a quick smell will confirm that it is her baby, and we're going to be seeing that a lot. But very interesting, she was on her own in the bush there. Very interesting. We definitely need to keep a lookout if there's going to be any babies around in the next... Sorry, Seb, I thought you were zoomed out already. Certainly need to keep a lookout over the next couple of days for this herd. I'm not going to go in and have a look. That would be wrong. Are you possibly able to get that bird? Going to play hide and seek, the one that's running across the plain there. Haven't got you yet. Okay, ID number 2 for this afternoon. What bird is it? It's usually quite a loud bird. Hopefully you saw the orange beak, the speckled breast, and hopefully you'll see the colour of the legs. Go on, jump on the branch, you know you want to. It's usually quite vocal, especially as the sun starts to set. There we go, there's the orange legs. questions@juma.com. Send through what bird it is. Okay, we need to do a bit of a lap down onto Zoe's Road. Let's see if I can find these elephants. What you watching, girl? And there's an elephant in the road! Yay! Awesome! Hopefully a nicer visual. Across there as well. So it is possible. We'll have to keep a lookout for that little baby. Could be the same herd. Stations relocated the Schlambiv and Glove on Voyatella access, heading north. Looks like they crossed, some of them crossed over already. Oh, nice. It's a shame we've got a few trees in the way. That would have been a beautiful silhouette. She was just reaching up with her trunk. Here we go. Okay, I'm just going to go around the other side so we've actually got the light on them. Hello, boys. Oh, look, there's a little one running up to this little male here, look. No, very tiny baby. That's probably a good couple of years old. Eating some sickle bush. Now humans can eat this. You can actually eat the leaves. Similar leaves to what I showed you with the weeping wattle earlier. But you can actually eat them to help cure a toothache, or at least relieve a toothache. But this particular tree has spines protecting it, so it's quite interesting to see them picking off individual leaves rather than trying to grab a whole branch. They might take some smaller, supple branches, but certainly the larger ones have got these spines on them which are modified branches, so they are quite strong. Wondering if that's what the impala might have been hearing. Across that road. And we've got more ellies behind us too. Oh, look at that. What a beautiful silhouette. Just needs the sun to be slightly lower in the sky. They spend most of the day searching for food, and they will carry on feeding into the night, taking naps rather than a full length sleep like we do. And Bets, if you're watching, I hope the ellies are going to be doing you some good. Where are you seeing that, Ephraim? Ah. Copy that, thank you. Second Impala, Torchwood Camp. Ooh, hello. Somebody just upset the guinea fowl. I'm just going to take a drive down here. Because all the guinea fowl ran that way. Hi Fran, good afternoon to you over there in Oregon. Wanting to know how long do baby elephants nurse? Well, they can continue to nurse up until they're about 5-7 years old, depends usually on when the next calf arrives. What is wrong, guinea fowl? They're staying on the ground, they're not putting themselves into a tree. I saw them all run in that direction. I wonder if somebody saw an eagle maybe flying over a little bit further away. Could well have done. Be that there was a raptor sitting in one of those trees at the back, so I didn't see anything flying overhead. But the fact that they've kept to the ground and they've gone for cover tends to suggest it was something that can swoop in from the air rather than a ground predator. But could be wrong. Oh look, elephant crossed. Awesome. I'm actually going to double back and have a look. Okay. Roy, Cam and RC, thank you very much for the Natal Franklin. It was indeed. Was there any other answers? Joanne. Cape. Saying Caped Franklin. Don't know if you meant Crested Franklin there. We don't get the Cape down here. But it is the Natal Franklin. The orange beak and the orange legs gives it away. So very noisy. I actually think he says hot diggity, hot diggity. But yeah, very, very loud. I'm just going to actually pull it onto this little 2-track here and just try and get another view of these guys before they move over the other side of the road. Hearing the rattling Sister Cola again. Jar, come in. Are you still with Induna?
Yeah,
Is he still on the pants? Still sleeping. Hello, you want toast? I think I read somewhere it's usually around 4 months that baby elephants start to feed on other vegetation. They may test a little bit here and there when they're younger, but I think they actually do start to feed around 4 months. I think we have been asked that in the past, and I just happened to come across something the other day. Thanks, Liz. Glad you're enjoying them. As I'm sure a lot of people are, we have had a bit of an elephant drought recently. I say I did feel a bit guilty leaving them earlier, but they were going into thick bush and it was going to be difficult to keep up with them. And where Induna was at that stage, it was possible something might have happened. Might have been trying to hunt. Blocked view. Censored. But it is nice to see the Ellies. I saw they were moving this way and I was hoping that they would come out into a little bit better bush, and we're getting a nice view of them now. See, baby's still nursing there. And if you notice, if you've never seen a baby nurse before, they actually tip the trunk back over the head and they drink with the mouth. I'll see if I can actually move, because we might get a view of her. Still bush next to them. I'm thinking she's going to come this way eventually. What a peaceful afternoon, sitting here with a herd of African elephants. We are surrounded, once again, and everybody is quite happy having us join them for their supper as the sun starts to set. And if we do have any new viewers, welcome on board to our live safaris here at Juma. And hopefully you're getting a taste of what can happen on drives, and some days you get to do some birding and have a look at trees and plants, and some days you actually get to see some of the most charismatic creatures that Africa has to offer. I need to move again. Who's that? Joey! Hi Joey! Good to hear from you too. Wanting to know if you can recognise the young Ellie that was screaming yesterday. I think it was about 10 years old. There wasn't really any distinguishing features as such. I'm not sure if this is the same herd. See, they came from Rebecca's Zoe's Road. It could be that they did a loop around. We were following tracks this morning. I wasn't convinced they'd crossed over because I didn't find anything really on Cheetah Cut Line or Buffer's Hook. So it is possible it's the same herd, but there's not really any distinguishing feature of that young male. Okay, well Mark's got a picture that's been posted up on Facebook. Thanks to whoever did that. And Mark's going to let me know if he sees him. Oh, thanks Minerva. So Mark's going to see if he sees him on screen. All I remember is that his tusks were pretty straight. They weren't that long, but as I say, it didn't really take too much in, and I don't remember anything distinguishing or standing out that would distinguish him. But I'm sure that they were actually keeping in touch with him, but he just was struggling to get a proper direction, and he panicked. It did sound like he was, really screaming, if ever you were a child and you lost your parents and you start shouting. It was like that. And he would be about the right age for it as well. Reverse back and have a look at this little one. I don't know if we're going to be able to. I'm going to try and see if we can get the sun just behind. If it is going to be possible. I'm still hoping she's going to come this way because most of the herd have. There is a little bit of a gap. You can see the sun through there. Kind of just a little bit too low, but you can just about see the sun setting. I was hoping to get it on the other side with the elephant, but unfortunately it's just too thick on the other side. Hi Roger, wanting to know what bird it was earlier. Natal Franklin. See, I think this youngster's probably a little bit older than the male yesterday. But this scenario, Mark's saying it could possibly be him. So it just looks a little bit bigger than what I remember him from last night. But this scenario is possibly how it happened in the first place. Most of the herd have gone off behind us. There is a female who's she's turning. I think she's starting to come back this way. But you know, if he's carrying on doing what he's doing, you know, he's quite happy feeding and he's, you know, just milling around. If she just happens to continue with the rest of the herd and he still carries on, that could be exactly how he got left behind, or the male got left behind yesterday. He was so engrossed in what he was doing, he just didn't realise everybody else had left. She's going... Where are you going, lady? Are you coming this way? Slowly making her way here. I'm going to pull forward again. Let's see where she's going to go. I'm going to go to where he is, possibly. His little baby, walking with attitude, look. That posture is how a male would actually walk up to another male to try and apply dominance. Walking with the head up. If an elephant's not happy, sometimes they'll actually show you that posture as well. Almost looking down their trunk at you. Can you see the boys together? Do I need to... Mum's having a good scratch behind the ear. Amazing how versatile the trunk is. Really is like the fifth limb. So the rest of the herd look like they have got one last look at these guys. It looks like she's going to go in more that way before possibly heading Could be that she's just going to break away from them for a bit. And that's how the herds are actually made. It's the smaller family units, females with their calves, and they'll then join up with their other relatives, maybe the aunts, maybe daughters who have had their own calves. And they form much larger groups, but it is possible for them to just break away and do their own thing, and they may still be in touch. I mean, the distance is not too great. They probably are in touch with each other, communicating. So it is believed that individuals can recognise individuals from, I don't know, a K and a half away. Oh, I parked a little bit too far back. I'm hoping that they're going to cross in front of us. Just put forward slightly more. Oh, good to hear. Good to hear you're here, Bets, with the elephants. I hope they're giving you some good medicine. Calf's trying to drink again. Is it kicking the bush behind it? I think it's getting its foot caught. Shame. And this is how baby actually learns what to eat and what not to eat. Baby follows mum and will test what she's eating by putting the trunk into her mouth, or actually picking leaves off the same branch or same bush, and basically copying mum. And they do have a lot to learn, and that's one of the reasons why they have such a long childhood. And any animal that does have a long childhood, the reason is because they have a lot to learn. Whether it's to do with social, or food, or technique of finding food. If you think about the cats have to hunt, and it's quite a difficult way to find or to gain food. I mean, you have to outwit the prey, and you have to learn how the prey is going to react, and learn how to get close to the prey, close enough to actually be able to catch something to eat. And with the herbivores it's a little bit easier because obviously their food doesn't move around, but when it comes to changes in the season, that's where the change comes. So it's a subtle change, but they do have to learn where to find food at certain times of the year, where to find water, where the best feeding areas are at particular times in the year. So when the marulas start to come into season, we'll find a lot more elephants here towards the end of the wet season. During the winter time, they usually go for roots. They need to learn how to dig up the roots and which roots to go for. They won't be feeding on all the roots of the trees. And some years are more severe than others, so some years they might be able to find food and water in certain places, but in severe drought they might not find food and water there. It might be somewhere else they need to go, and this is why it is actually correct to say that an elephant has a fantastic memory, because there's all these things that they have to keep in mind and pass on to their children to be able to survive. I don't know if you copied earlier, the Schleimbiev and Love are just on the 2-track by the pipeline, close to Junction Zoe's Road and Voitella. Some heading north, some heading west. Well, the night is drawing in. I think let's continue our drive for a little bit, see if we can go and start to see some nocturnal animals. But definitely wonderful to spend some quality time with our missing friends. Thank you, lady. go see if there's anything that happens. Sure, that wind's got really nippy, hey? Ooh, and it looks like there is some cloud building in the south there. I'm hoping one of these days we are going to be lucky by driving Zoe's Road and maybe bumping into a honey badger or an aardvark. We certainly have seen activity along here, so maybe one day we'll have luck. But I think so far our little lucky charm, I think, has worked well. Induna and elephants. Wow, it's all this greenery coming through, bright lush green. It would be unusual for an aardvark to be out this time of day, but not impossible. Not impossible. Anything happening around there. Sounds like Induna doesn't know what he wants to do. He's up and then he's down and he's snoozing again, and then he's up again and then he's down again. like that bird if you can get it. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it though. Can you see it through there? Straight through underneath this branch here. Oh, let me pull forward. I'm not able to see it now. Don't be shy. Straight through there. Can you see him?
Oh, okay. No, I was looking at the trees.
Stop moving! Yeah, just there. Probably your last bird ID for the afternoon. Hopefully you'll stand still and stand in a place that we can see it nicely. Look at the markings on the back and the black underneath. You're not helping. Come on. Help us out. I'd love to catch their display on camera for you. Because they'll call and then they will actually fly up just a few meters, close the wings and fall back down to earth to attract a female. I actually think awesome. I'm hoping that just came over on the sound. Awesome. I can hear Shelley's Franklin right off in the distance. I'll drink your beer, I'll drink your beer. It's got a much larger cousin that you might get a little bit confused with the black coloration. Awesome, thanks Seb. He helped us out eventually. I think Mary in California. Good afternoon to you, Mary. Hope you're well. I wanted to know about baby elephants and how long it takes for them to control that trunk of theirs. As you saw a video of one trying to feed and it was using its foot and it really couldn't control this thing. And it is like a baby human trying to learn how to use its legs and arms. It does take them a little while. But with the elephant, I think it's probably a good couple of months to maybe 4 or 5 months, maybe a little bit longer to really get full control over it. But they do certainly have to learn how to use it. It's not a, you know, it has to watch other elephants to really learn how to use it. And the girl that wrote the poem, the Little Rhino's Prayer, she actually told me a very funny story of a mother elephant trying to teach her offspring how to drink, and she took it to the dam and put a trunk and like did not sort of doing it naturally, you know, sort of putting a trunk in and squirting water into her mouth. It was almost as if it was sort of every movement was done deliberately, sort of emphasized almost. So she puts a trunk into the water and it's almost as if she notices baby isn't watching, so she slaps baby with a trunk and says, you know, are you watching this? And then she does it again. She puts a trunk in the water. That's a big herd of impala there. Not too much else, unfortunately. The sky is pretty. But it was I say, sort of slapping the child, saying, look, are you watching this? Put her trunk in the water again, sucked the water up, and then squirted it over her back. And she did it a couple of times, and then Baby actually tried to do it, and Baby put its trunk in the water, and then threw its trunk over its back, but nothing came out. It kind of didn't grasp the concept that it had to blow. So it took a little while for Mum to really get that through to Baby, what it was supposed to do. I don't know if you can maybe just work out the Drakensberg Mountains. It's very hazy. Looks like there's a fire over there as well. It is very hazy. Yeah, there we go. Just make it out. And Venus, where are you? There's Venus. Can't see Antares as yet. And Jupiter is directly opposite Venus on my right. Yeah, it's still a little bit light in the sky. Yeah, we got it. Just there. Mercury as well, if anybody's interested in seeing the planets. Mercury, oh, just up a bit. I did see it. There it is. Mercury is supposed to be visible, but it's still just a little bit too bright to see Mercury at the moment. But for the next couple of weeks, I think, Mercury is visible. Somewhere just below Venus, fairly close to the horizon. Could be because the mountains are in the way, that's why we're not seeing it, could well be. But certainly is just a little bit too bright to see at the moment. But you've got to get it in that right time slot, because I say it's quite a small planet, and because it is close to the sun, you've always got to watch for it either as the sun rises or sets, depending on where it is going to be. So it is as the sun is setting at the moment. Same with Venus, you'll always find it either where the sun's setting or the sun's rising. You'll never find it on the opposite side. So like Jupiter now, I can see Jupiter's risen, and it's probably about it's just as high as Venus, maybe just a little bit lower, but roughly about the same. So you might get confused, but Venus will be always with the sun. Everyone's quite quiet here though. Not gonna happen. I don't know if we're going to be able to see some of Jupiter's moons. You're able to zoom in on Jupiter, just above the tree line. And if you use binoculars, don't usually have to be that strong. If you use binoculars, you might be able to see moons of Jupiter. Oh, I can see a couple. Yeah. There is one just below. Actually, I think there's two there. Just below Jupiter. Two tiny little spots. I don't know if it's going to really come through on your screen, but there are there. And it just goes to show you don't need a very powerful pair of binoculars. And if you've got good eyesight, you may even be able to see them with the naked eye at certain times. And the way you can tell the moons is that they don't twinkle. They send back constant light, because it's the same as a planet. Planet also, if you notice, is not twinkling. The only time you'll really see it twinkle is if it's low on the horizon, because of all the dust in the air. But because it's reflecting the light from the sun, it's a constant light that is reflecting back, and it's the same with the moons. So there'll be 4 big moons, the Galilean moons, that it is possible to see. But I think we just need to be a little bit darker in the sky to really see them nicely. Oh, and we've got the moon as well. Beautiful. And And some of you may have heard the story before, but the Sea of Tranquility, which is the largest sea, and it's the second one from the bottom. You can see those large patches. You might be able to see the three. Well, sorry, second from the top. It's that largest moon, and that's where Apollo 11 landed. There's a Sea of Tranquility. Okay, shall we continue on? Lights might be good at this stage, hey? Ta-da! There we go. Needs to be a little bit darker. Yep, Cindy in Ohio. Good afternoon to you. Hi Cindy. And I'm sure a few people also wanting to know what's going on with the vulture's nest. Has the chick fledged? Every time we've been back there, it's been overcast and cold, so the vultures, if they are there, have been keeping a very low profile. I did fly by or have a look there the other day, couldn't see anything, but as I say, when it's overcast they do keep quite low. I wouldn't have thought the chick would have fledged yet. It takes them a couple of months at least. I think we definitely need to try, especially when it's a warm day, to go and have a look there and see what the chick is doing. Actually, I forgot about it this afternoon. This afternoon would have been perfect. Totally forgot. It's because I got sidetracked by the Ellies. That was why. And actually I think I did look up and I don't notice anything. But I could be mistaking it for another day. Days are blurring into one. Oh dear. Some people have been sending through the answer for the bird, but people have been getting the cousin rather than the actual bird. So it does have a much larger cousin, which you could get confused with the black belly. We want the smaller cousin. Thank you very much for telling us that, Hal, and thank you very much to Bob for implementing it. Apparently the barb, is that barb with beans? Barb. Thank you very much, Bob. But Hal article is just letting us know that a paper in Ontario in Canada featured wild earth in one of the papers in Toronto, and Barb actually told them about us, so thank you very much, Barb, appreciate that one. And I have seen the first draft for the newspaper article for the Kruger to Canyon from Diane, who was here the other day. So hopefully when she gives us the final draft, we'll be able to share it with everybody. She says she's going to make that available, and we'll probably put it on a blog so that everybody can have a read of it. But she's also quite keen to do a story on the drives as well. And she became a Juma junkie after she came on board to share a drive with us on Gunda the other day. So Diane, if you're watching, welcome on board and thank you very much. And the Kruger to Canyon is a local paper, and I think it just, for me, I think will really help the local people in the fight against the rhino poaching, because there's a lot of game reserves around this area, and I think just to know that there are people out there like yourselves who care and want to help, I think might just give them that support that they might be lacking, sort of feeling, you know, all is lost almost, nobody cares, when actually there are people out there that do care, and I think just telling them about it, as I say, might just lift their spirits slightly. Venus, you're looking beautiful tonight. Just shining extremely bright. Interesting little fact about Venus though. Her day is longer than her year. She turns so slowly on her axis. Takes 243 Earth days to make one complete turn on her axis, and her year is about 225 Earth days for her to do one orbit around the sun. Amazing, eh? She turns just so slowly. She actually goes in the opposite direction to what Earth rotates. Goes clockwise instead of anti-clockwise. She's a strange little planet, but a beautiful one nonetheless. Well done, Keith. Keith, Roy, and who was the other one? Randy. Randy, thank you very much, guys, coming through for me with the red-crested Koran. That is right. The Koran is... Oh. Somebody complaining. Not sure who though. But yes, red-crested Koran, much smaller than the black-bellied bustard, which is what people were coming back with originally. So the black is something for you to look at, but the chevrons on the back, the patterns on the back also help to point it in the direction of the red-crested Koran. I think that was possibly a female. I need to check actually, because it depends on how far up the neck the black goes. But it didn't look like it actually had the red crest of the male, the breeding male, and that's where it gets its name from. It loses it during the winter time and gains it during the breeding season. So I think that was actually a female. By bugs. No sign of porcupine recently. That would be nice to see. I think it belongs to an impala. Yes, it does. There's another one. So there's two male impala from earlier junction with Rebecca's Road. Ooh. Nope, more impala. Thought that was a big tawny cat hiding behind the termite mound. But no. Herd of impala. Not gonna stop with them. Hi Heather, good to hear from you. Hope you're well. And I would love to oblige Heather, but I'm not very good at that one. I haven't even, never actually practiced it. But Heather wants you and me to do a red-crested Koran call.
I don't know how to do it.
The only bit I can do is the clicks. And then it goes into that call. I don't even know if it's a whistle. I've been trying to work out how I can actually try and imitate that call. I suppose whistling, give it a go. No. I should have a think on it. If I do crack it, Heather, I will do it for you. Scott and Kayleen over there in Illinois, and you're going to have to give me the name of your astronomy organisation again. Peoria Astronomical Society. And I must admit, astronomy is actually another love of my life, and I go through phases. Sometimes, you know, I'll be out there and looking at the sky and you know, really doing a lot on that, and then sometimes it's just nice to know that it's there. But it has been a while since I've been able to really chat about it, especially not really seeing the sky over the last week and a half or so. But sometimes we do get to do a little bit of astronomy, especially now that we've changed the times as well. So it has helped doing a bit of a night drive, because before we were finishing at dusk, and that hasn't helped either. I do try and keep on top of things and do let people know. I think it wasn't it the Orionoids, the meteor shower that's falling now, and I think actually we're coming up to, that was something I forgot to say to everybody actually, because I think we are coming up to the peak. In the next few days, if we haven't done so already. And we certainly noticed a couple about a week ago. And I never understood where the names of the meteor showers came from. And it's very, very simple. It's literally where the meteors seem to originate from. So whichever constellation they look like they originate from, that's where they get the name. So the Orionoids are from Orion. I'm just going to see, because I think we're heading back towards where Induna is, and if he hasn't moved, well, I'll be bumping the lock.
Stand down. And other two Madurangale is heading more north towards the Kaya Multicam.
Is there any station still with Induna? Is there any station still with Induna? Okay, copy. Just wanted to find out because I don't want to bump your lock. Just on the side of Treehouse Dam. Okay, copy. How many movers are there? Okay, copy. How many movers are there? Okay, copy, thank you. Okay, it sounds like he was last seen heading east from the drainage line. So we may bump into him again. It's funny, I actually know more constellations down here in the south than I do in the north. I feel lost when I go home. Hi Donna in Nebraska. Good evening to you. Is there any nocturnal birds besides the owls? Yes, there is, Donna. Nightjars. They've gone quiet again. The nightjars are another bird that, if you know the call, you can ID them a lot more easily than by sight, like the little brown jobs. And the one that calls most frequently is the rufous-necked nightjar. No, fiery-necked nightjar. I always get the two mixed up. I always try and call the rufous cheat and the fiery neck, vice versa. The fiery neck nightjar versing the rufous cheat, but we have the fiery neck more. And that, if I can whistle, goes something like. It sounds like it to me. It's the closest I can do anyway. But the freckled nightjar. Oh, actually, I want to stay on this side, don't I? Just have a quick look around the water's edge. Hello, Mr. Hippo. Won't disturb you. The other nightjar you might hear actually says bow wow, bow wow. That's the freckled nightjar. Oh, sure. It's gone fast. Carol, to be honest, I always forget what times of the year the Southern Cross is seen. I just when I see it, and when I don't, I don't. I'll have to try and remember. I'll try and look it up for you. But definitely, if I do see the Southern Cross on drive again, I will show you. It came out quite nicely last time, but you do need a very dark night, and the moon is not helping us. The moon is 3/4 full. The gibbous moon, it is a little bit too bright. So when it's new moon again and we don't have clouds, then hopefully we'll be able to show you the Southern Cross if it is up. So Orion is up for us at the moment. The Scorpion will be at the opposite end, so when Orion's in the sky, the Scorpio is below, and vice versa. You won't ever see the two in the same sky together. And the myth goes that Orion killed everything in the sky, but it was the Scorpion who defeated him. The Scorpion stung him and he died. And the Scorpion and the Hunter are forever in a celestial battle, trying to catch each other. hoping to find a little nocturnal primate or something. Or even one of the nightjars. As soon as I've done 2, I'll finish with the 3rd. The rufous-cheeked kind of sounds like it's trying to start up a little motor. Kind of goes doo-whoop, doo-whoop, doo-whoop. They do the little head bob as well. Doo-whoop, doo. Anyway, I don't get out very often. Oh, that's good to know. Apparently that's better than my fiery necked impression. Hi, Paul in Idaho. Good evening to you. And saying you've watched programs when you were little and you always had the impression that Africa had a lot of monkeys, but on Drive we don't really see many monkeys. Where are the areas where the monkeys are? In South Africa we only have 3. Well, 3 monkeys, but we do have prosimians, lesser primates. But the actual monkeys, the baboons, the vervets and the samango. The samango we don't get here at Djuma Game Reserve. There is a population in Kruger apparently, but they tend to be more in the forests down on the southern coast, in Knysna, those areas. But we have the baboons and the vervets. Baboons, I think the Gowrie gang have left the building for the time being. I was hoping they were going to make their way back. It doesn't look like they were here today. I think they've gone south possibly. They are a very small troop, so that doesn't help. If we had a much larger troop, then I think you'd have a different impression. Vervet monkeys as well, they are here, they just hide extremely well. Occasionally we do see them. You just have to look for the tree moving like mad, and you usually see them. So they are here, it's difficult to see. As I say, with the Gowrie gang only being in a very small number, I suppose that does give the impression that there's less monkeys. But let's say if you go to Kruger, you'll see big troops. There's probably bigger troops around here in the Sabi Sands. But there's a lot of monkeys further north in Africa. Definitely in the jungles, probably around Gabon, probably has a fair number of monkeys. Then if you go towards Kenya, Tanzania, lots of baboons again. Ethiopia will also have a lot of baboons. So they are all over. We just don't have many species here. So I was hoping to find one of our prosimians or lesser primates. A bush baby. But they're not coming out to play tonight. Probably a little bit nippy. Probably staying in thicker bushes rather than on the fringes of the trees. And unfortunately, it looks like it has come to the time to say goodbye. Get onto the open area. At least the pump isn't working. I thought it was. It's making a noise, but let's get past it anyway. thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing the long lost elephants and spending a little bit of time with them, which is always great. Bug in the eye, not good. But also seeing Induna as well. I think our lucky charm definitely worked today. So I hope you enjoyed seeing him. Apparently it sounds like we had the best time of him, or with him. So he only moved after dark and apparently disappeared into the drainage line. So I hope he's going to be successful with something to eat. His belly did look a little bit thin, but I'm sure he'll be fine though. He's definitely his mother's son when it comes to things like that. So definitely don't worry about him. He will either find himself a kill to go and scavenge from, or catch his own. So I have no doubt about that at all. But it's been a wonderful evening and a wonderful afternoon and day. So do take care wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for all your questions, and thanks for all the links that you've been sending. I'm definitely going to have a look at those as well. Seb, thanks for your camera work. Mark, back in final control, and you've been watching the live drives here at Juma. My name's Tara, and I hope we see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.